I'm revisiting my original AutoScope control system. This is something I worked on in 2016 to control a microscope with two motors and belts and whatnot. And in the meantime, I found a design that's pretty nice, which I've shown in previous videos. It mounts more cleanly. For testing purposes, I'm still going to use this because, especially for testing motor action, it works perfectly fine. It's based off of an Arduino Nano, small, cheap, and it has enough pins to drive the steppers. It uses I2C to control a little LCD display. This is optional, but it's handy. I've used a variety of different displays, real small ones, big ones. For input, this prototype uses an infrared sensor, so it has an infrared sensor with a little baby remote control to do left, right, up, down, and home. These two boards come with the steppers typically, and these are just Darlington transistor arrays that allow the microcontroller to drive a higher current motor. There's two sources of power. One is the USB. USB is driving the logic. So it's driving the Arduino, the display, and the IR sensor. The motors are driven off of a separate power bus, which I use a wall wart to give it 5 volts. So this section here with this capacitor is for the voltage for driving the motors. The capacitor is optional. It's just a little storage tank for intermittent dips in power. You really need to drive motors off of a separate supply from your microcontroller because they just draw too much current. So we could watch it. If I skew this, there we go. So there's, you can see the one motor doing its thing, going clockwise and counterclockwise. And then this is the other direction. See, it's doing its thing. And then I had programmed the center button to do home, which moves both motors at once to go home very slowly. So this is a good motor control test as I work out the gear issues with matching gears to the handles of the scope.